let us examine figure 2. We have the curve C1, which has parametric equations given here, where t is less than 2 pi and greater than or equal to 0. And then we have the circle C2 with equation given here. There are 4 distinct points in the first quadrant here. They C1 and C2 they meet, and in the second quadrant you can see that they intersect here. In the third quadrant they intersect, and in the fourth quadrant they intersect. Now this is the most important point we need to focus our attention on, because we want to find the Cartesian coordinate here in the fourth quadrant. How do we do that? Well, we have to first find the value of t, and then we can substitute that value into the equation here to get the Cartesian coordinate. Well, how do we do that? We're given the equation of the circle here, which is x squared plus y squared equals 66. But our parametric equation here, we have x as 10 cos t. So what we're going to do is to substitute these values into this equation, and we would have then 10 cos t all squared plus 4 root 2 sine t all squared, and that should equal to 66. What we're going to do is to expand and simplify, and then we can find the value of t. Okay, so here we would have 100 cos squared t plus, when we square root 2 we get 2, we square 4 we get 16, so 2 times 16 would be 32 sine squared t, and that equals 66. Well, in order to solve this, we need to get the equation into one of the ratios. So we can say, okay, we can get the equation into sine ratio. Therefore, we know that cos squared t then is equal to 1 minus sine squared t. So all we need to do is to input this value into the equation, and then we can solve for t. So then we have 100 then times 1 minus sine squared t plus 32 sine squared t equals 66. Let us multiply 100 throughout this bracket. So we have then 100 minus 100 sine squared t plus 32 sine squared t equals 66. So what we need to do is to get the t terms on one side, and then we can solve for t. So let us subtract 100 both sides. Therefore, we would have minus 34 on the right hand side, and on the left hand side we need to simplify. Minus 100 sine squared t plus 32 sine squared t, that's going to give us minus 68 sine squared t. Therefore, sine squared t then is equal to, when we divide both sides by minus 68, we get 0.5. So how do we solve for t? Well, we need to take the square root both sides. Therefore, we have sine t equals to the root plus or minus the root of 0.5. And that gives us plus or minus 0.707 to 3 significant figures. Now, if you can recall, so we have two values for sine. One is positive and one is negative. So if you can recall, with the quadrant diagram, all the ratios are positive in the first quadrant. Sine is positive in the second quadrant, and tangent is positive in the third, and cosine is positive in the fourth quadrant. So we are concerned with the fourth quadrant. But if you notice, our ratio is sine. So we need to focus when sine is negative. So sine is negative in this quadrant. So we're going to choose the negative value here. So we're going to have sine t equals to minus 0.707. So to get t, then we have sine inverse 0.707. So let's work out the value of t with our calculator. So what we need to do is to put our calculator in radians. So we put that in radians. It's number 4. So the inverse of sine 0.707. So in radian, the value of t then is 0.785 to 3 significant figures. So t is 0.785, 3 significant figures, 3 SF. Okay, so since we have the principal value of t and we are concerned with the fourth quadrant, we need to draw an acute angle. Okay, and then we're going to mark this angle as 0.785. And we want to, since the range is less than 2 pi, it means that the angle that we are concerned with is going to be starting from 0 to this point. So how do we work this out? Then if this is 0 or 2 pi, it means that we would have to subtract this value from 2 pi to work out our angle, our value of t. And how do we do that? Well, we need to simply have then our true value of t then would be 2 pi minus this value, which is 0.785. So let's use our calculator to work that out. So we're going to have then 2 pi minus 0.785. So t here then is 5.498 to 4 significant figures. 5.498. So t equals to 5.498. So now we have found the value of t. It means that we can write down our Cartesian coordinates. So t is 5.498. So what we're going to do then is to work out the value of s. So here we have x as 10 cos t. So we're going to have then x equals to 10 cosine t. Here is 5.498. So we're going to use our calculator to work this value out, and then that would be the x value of s. So let's do that. So we're going to have 10 cosine 5.498. So to 3 significant figures then we have 7.07. So x is 7.07. And our y value here, y then is equal to 4 root 2 sine of t, which is 5.498. So let's put this in our calculator. So we're going to have then 4 root 2 sine t, which is 5.498. And to three significant figures, then we have minus 4.00, minus 4.00. Therefore, s, the coordinate of s then would be the x value, which is 7.07, and the y value is minus 4.00. Thank you very much.